At this time, we direct your attention to the south end zone as our colors are presented by the Humble High School Junior ROTC. Lead guard Joshua Jordan, American flag Michael Chanette, Texas flag Natalie Perez, rear guard Giselle Gomez, color guard commander Crystal Diaz. Tonight, the Umble High School Choirs, under the direction of Adam J. Hightower, would like to welcome the 8th grade choir students and the directors from Umble Middle School and Ross Sterling Middle School for the singing of our national anthem.
Welcome to Texan, welcome to the TexanLive.com live streaming coverage of Humble ISD Turner Stadium, where tonight's action will have the 1-4 Porter Spartans facing the home team, Umble Wildcats, that sit right now at 2-4. Currently in District 21 5A, the Spartans are winless, with the Wildcats being 1-3, with their lone victory coming from the Kingwood Park Panthers. The Wildcats are 2-4 overall, with wins against K Park and Katy Tompkins. And overall, Porter is 1-4, winning their home opener against the Caney Creek Panthers. So we watch for the toss. They're going to defer. Umble is choosing the sides. Porter is going to receive in the first half as Umble defers to the second half. It's 88 degrees right now, partly cloudy, a 9-mile-an-hour north wind. We're watching the planes land at the Houston Bush Intercontinental Airport. From the booth.
Hey, shut the thing. No. Mic test.
All right, we're ready to bring you the TexanLive.com coverage of Texas high school football. Humble Wildcat hosting the Porter Spartans in a District 21 5A matchup. Want to make sure that you're checking out Texan Live on Facebook and check out Texan_Live on Twitter, Instagram, and Google+. That's at Texan_Live on Twitter, Instagram, and Google+. Also, make sure that Texan Live is your new home for Houston high school sports. Head to TexanLive.com after the game and check out the archives of one of many more from this game and other areas. We had a couple 2 o'clock games that will give you a score that have completed as we watch the Umble Wildcats kick off with Azanzia, the 6-foot, 245-pound kicker for Umble Wildcats, number 13. Back deep for the Porter Spartans is number 6, Tyler Baker. And this ball game is underway, folks. It's a deep kick. He's fielded about the 7-yard line. That's Tyler Baker. Cuts and weaves towards the middle of the hash. He gets taken down by a pile of Wildcats on that. That's going to put the ball at 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Porter Spartans as they trot out their quarterback, Jake Hall. And 143 yards, a touchdown against Barber Hill last week. 663 yards and 5 touchdowns with only 1 interception on the season. Although Hall has 7 fumbles on the season, 3 of those which he's lost. Porter splits one wide receiver right, which is it's going to be a pitch. It's going to be pitched to Brandon Moore. Moore's going to get about 5 yards off of that. Now, Bradley Moore has run the ball 60 times this season for 363 yards and 3 touchdowns. As a sophomore, Bradley Moore is their workhorse. He also splits time with junior running back Preston Kruger. They're going to send Carney to far right. That's going to get a pitch to Moore. Moore's going to weave back towards the middle. He's going to get another probably 3 yards out of that. So it's going to be 3rd down and 3 for the Porter Spartans, as both their plays have been pitches to Moore, one to the left, one to the right. Brings down 3rd down. Jake Hall heads back into the huddle after getting the call from the coaches on the sideline, Coach Reno Moore. Single back in the backfield, Bradley Moore. Again, that's going to be a pitch. That's going to go to the left. Bradley Moore is going to be short of the 1st down on that. And that's going to bring out 4th down. Langston Tunston on the tackle, the senior linebacker for the Umble Wildcats. Back deep for the Umble is number 3, Trino Brown, and Jeremiah Hartfield. As Tim Clay, the punter for Porter. It's going to be a pretty decent punt, and Trino's going to field it as he drops about the 45-yard line. That's where the Umble Wildcats will take over. So as the Wildcats come on the offense, it'll be led by quarterback Marion McIntosh. McIntosh is a 6'1", 180-pound senior quarterback, 459 yards on the season through the air, 4 touchdowns. Unfortunately, he matches those touchdowns with 4 interceptions. Starting running back for the Wildcats, Terrio Brown. He's got 539 yards on the season. McIntosh in a shotgun formation, man in motion, and that's going to be Anderson. Jason Anderson is going to get 9 yards out of that carry. It's going to be brought down by number 14, Jonathan Doolin. Cameron Providence also on that tackle, sophomore. Jonathan Doolin also a sophomore. Very young Porter defense. McIntosh in the shotgun again. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Brown in the backfield with them. Shotgun up high. It's going to be a handoff to Brown. Brown's going to carry it on the right side. And it looks like he's going to have it break all the way. He's going to be on the sideline. It's going to be touchdown to Brown. Touchdown to Terrio Brown. It's going to be a 44-yard rushing touchdown for Brown on the 3rd play from scrimmage for the Umble Wildcats. 9 minutes and 21 seconds into the first quarter, Umble's on the board. Holder's going to be Hartfield. Hartfield up. That kick is, check the referees, good. That Umble Wildcats 7, the Porter Spartans 0. And we're going to go ahead and take our touchdown break, brought to you by Allspas.
Allspas is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspas is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspas is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspas is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
All right, as we get back from the break, that touchdown brought to you again by Allspas. Umble scores on a 44-yard rush by Terrio Brown of the Umble Wildcats, just off of the right side of tackle. And the Umble Wildcats are ready to kick off again. It's going to be Tyler Baker back deep. That's going to be fielded by Baker again at the 10-yard line. Baker cut it, looks like he's going to get a block, and he's fumbling the ball out of bounds. Or is that going to be a recovery by the Umble Wildcats? Let's wait and see on this. They're going to give that ball back to Porter. Almost a costly error there for Tyler Baker on that as he was hit and caught the ball up. As quarterback Jake Hall for the Porter Spartans trots from the sideline with his play. The secondary for Umble is ready to go. Carl Jordan, Brandon Jackson, Blake George. It's going to be a pitch that's going to be to Kruger. Kruger's going to get nowhere on that as the tackle is made by number 28, Roderick Davis. That's senior Roderick Davis. So Kruger on that pitch with nowhere to go. He's going to have a loss of 3 yards. That's going to bring up 2nd and 13 for the Porter Spartans. As, again, Jake Hall makes his call, breaks the huddle. Jake Hall back under center again. 2 wide receivers right, including Carney. That's going to be a straight handoff up the middle, and that's going to go to Kruger again. Kruger up the middle just off of the left guard. Left guard tonight, Colin Byer for the Porter Spartans. Langston Tunson for the Umble Wildcats on the tackle. At 3rd and 7. Should be a passing situation. Porter has yet to throw the ball this game. Everybody's tight in. Kruger. More in the backfield. There's a rollout by Jake, and there's nowhere to go. Just a 3-yard completion out to number 42 of the Porter Spartans. Quick rollout on that. Still brings it 4th down, 4th and 3. Again, back for Umble. Dario Brown and Jeremiah Hartfield. Both of them, as we saw with Brown and Hartfield, all through a threat from any position. Tim Clay on the punt for Porter. This one's going to be filled by Hartfield. Hartfield looks like first seam. Goes down the sidelines. Not really anywhere to go. Maybe a 7-yard completion on that. Brought down by number 32 of the Porter Spartans. And as Umble takes over for 1st and 10 from the Porter 45-yard line. 46-yard line of Porter. So Umble already in Porter territory, 46-yard line. They've scored from this position here once before. We got Bryson Jackson just to the right. McIntosh waiting for the play. Brown in the backfield with him. McIntosh steps in the shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff. Wide right to Anderson. Anderson is going to carry and get down. 13. McIntosh, I'm sorry. It looked like, it kind of faked me out a little bit because it looked like Anderson was going to carry the ball, but looks like McIntosh carries himself, gets a 14-yard gain. Be 1st and 10. 33-yard line for Umble. And that's going to be a keeper this time. As Brown gets around the outside, maybe he gets 3 yards on that carry. Looking for that space in the outside. This is a very fast team that Umble has. Porter's generally a blitzing team, but Umble is just negating the blitz. Again to McIntosh. McIntosh looking for a wide receiver. Looks like he's got a man open in the end zone. And he drops just in and out of the hands of Bryson Jackson. He's got 13 receptions for 218 yards and a touchdown on the season, but just out of the hands of Bryson Jackson on that one. So he trots back to the line of scrimmage. Umble Wildcats looking on the right to their coach. Excuse me, that would be to the left. Your other 23 in motion on this. It's going to be McIntosh. McIntosh is going to hand the ball off to Anderson. Anderson is maybe going to get a yard as he tries to cut off left tackle. Left tackle that. So that's going to bring down 4th down, but almost going to go for it on this. Kind of a no man's land. Too far for a punt. Not enough room for a punt. Too far for a field goal. McIntosh in the shotgun formation. He's going to roll out. McIntosh blitz coming by Porter. McIntosh has got really nowhere to run, but he's going to pick up a block. Might get back to the line of scrimmage. Might get the 1st down. McIntosh looks like he's going to cut and weave. Gets another block. There's a flag on the play, but McIntosh is going to get down to the 5-yard line with some magic that he put in there. As Porter puts on their blitz, this was a blitzing team, like I had said earlier, of Porter. They get themselves into a position where they can pass the football, and Porter will blitz you. We're going to have to figure out what this flag on the play. It looks like this play is going to stand.
On the play, holding on the offense, number 23 at the spot of the flag.
And it looks like that the crowd noise is added back into us. So we here at Turner Stadium. And they're going to take it from the spot of the foul, back in the back, but they're going to take it from the spot of the foul, which is still going to be a gain by Umble. They're going to be 1st down in a very short half a yard. Timeout by the referees on this. I'm going to go ahead and measure this. And while we do that, we want to make sure that we're listening. On Friday nights, the Houston High School football wrap-up show, you can turn into Fox Sports Southwest, on Friday nights at 11 to midnight for the Houston High School football wrap-up show presented by Texan Drive. Join Howard Chen, Ted Johnson, Courtney Rowland, and Courtney Madden as they take you around the city of the football weekend's action. The Houston High School football wrap-up show presented by Texan Drive. That's every Friday night from 11 to midnight. That is an outstanding show, and if you're not watching it, you're missing out on all the action.
Of the line of the game, therefore it'd be fourth down and inches.
Fourth down and inches for Umble, but Umble's going to go for it here. There's really not a doubt. They're going to go for it 4th and 7. They're going to go for it 4th and inches here. McIntosh in the shotgun pistol formation. Looks like he's getting under center. McIntosh is going to take it himself. Providence on that. That was a fumble. Does Porter get it? It's going to be Tyler Lawrence on the recovery, and Porter is going to get that ball.
Recovered by the Spartans. Spartans will have.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Spartans after the fumble from McIntosh and the pickup by Tyler Lawrence, the senior. 19 total tackles on the season for Tyler Lawrence. So this is a safety that is used to being in the action. As Porter breaks the huddle. Carney to the far left on this. Slot receiver. Moore. That's going to be a pitch to Kruger. Kruger up the middle just to the left of tackle. And he's going to fumble the ball himself. Let's see who picks that ball up. Umble claims they have it, and they do. Umble gets the ball right back. Looks like the recovery on that was number 44, Langston Tungsten, on the recovery. That's the 5'11", 205-pound senior middle linebacker for the Umble Wildcats. Flying around the football there, getting it loose from Kruger and recovering the fumble. Umble will take over again, 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line. Two-back set for McIntosh. McIntosh in a pistol formation. Sends Anderson into motion, looking for a wide open number. That's going to be at Hartfield, just out of reach of Hartfield. Jeremiah Hartfield had his man beat on that play, but just overthrown by McIntosh. Great arm strength on quarterback Marion McIntosh of the Umble Wildcats. Man in motion on this, 2nd and 10. That's going to be Brown on there. Tries to get to the outside, then tries to cut back inside again. That's going to be tackle on that. Carney on the tackle for the Porter Spartans. A lot of movement for Umble right now. As Bryson Jackson switches to the far right. McIntosh looking for a wide receiver. Can't find it. Tucks the ball in. Nowhere to go on that. It's going to be brought down by Jonathan Doolin of the Porter Spartans. Picks up maybe a yard on that. It's going to be 4th and 9 now for the Umble Wildcats. A lot of movement, pre-snap movement. McIntosh stops Bryson Jackson, sets him back up. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Brown in motion again. They're going to call timeout. So with a timeout with for the Umble Wildcats, we're going to take a timeout with them and let you talk to some of our friends from Tin Roof Barbecue.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night, we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
So with a 4th and 9 for the Umble Wildcats, 23 in motion. McIntosh looking for an open wide receiver. May have gotten one. Ooh, that was almost intercepted. That's going to be Jose Palma on that. Very close for the junior quarterback for the Porter Spartans. Almost intercepts McIntosh's pass. Porter's going to take over now. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line, their own 29-yard line. It's going to give them 71 yards with 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. The Humble Wildcats 7, Porter Spartans 0. Porter going in on their 3rd series with a fumble by Umble. The very next play, Porter fumbles it themselves, but Porter's defense was able to hold off Wildcats' advance. Porter gets the ball back. No harm, no foul on this. It's going to be a pitch to Moore. Moore looks for it outside, cuts it back inside, maybe picks up 3 yards on that. That's going to bring up 2nd and 7 now for the Porter Spartans. Bradley keeps trying to get to the outside. Can't get anything going, so cuts it back inside. Picks up 2 yards on that. I apologize. It's going to be 2nd and 8 on that. They're trying to get Moore on sweeps, but Umble's able to cut those off and hold the edge for them. And it's going to be another handoff to Moore. Moore's going to go up the middle. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage on that. It's going to be Langston Tuxton on the tackle, middle linebacker. Number 40, Vincent Rogers, in on that as well. Lawler Johnson. The defensive line for Humble Wildcats. Looks like Hall's going to try to find somebody deep. There's nowhere to go with that, and he's going to be sacked. On that, that's going to be Cameron Washington on the sack for Umble. It's their senior defensive tackle. Get him a little rest. And Hartfield and Brown back deep for Porter as it brings up 4th and 14 now. Tim Clay back to punt for Porter. It's going to be Brown that's going to receive it at about the 45-yard line. He's going to cut into the middle. He's going to pick up 12 yards on the punt return. Get him back to almost the original line of scrimmage for a net gain of 1 on the punt by Tim Clay. It's going to be on the 31-yard line. So Porter again has to defend their end zone. Umble gets the ball inside of the 50-yard line again. For the 3rd time of the game, Porter's been able to hold him off with the exception of the 44-yard run that we had early in the game by Terrio Brown. Porter's been able to hold off the Wildcats. 3 wide receivers set. It's going to be a handoff and a keeper by McIntosh, and he's going to get maybe a yard out of that. It looks like Umble's trying to establish the run in the middle to try to loosen up the outside. But Porter is a very stout young defense. If you watched last week, the Porter Spartans, Barbers Hill was continuously run up the middle against Porter. But Porter looks like that they've solved that problem this week, as it is difficult now for the Umble Wildcats to run in between the tackles. McIntosh on a wide Spread is going to be open. That's going to be Hartfield. Hartfield spins around and is taken down. Big hit by Tyler Baker, and Hartfield is on the sidelines. Tyler Baker puts a big hit on Hartfield. It's going to put the ball first and 10 from the 15-yard line for Umble. Hartfield had a great play on that. Puts his bonnet back on, and he's ready to go back in. Got a movement up there. That's going to be Brown again, just to the left tackle. Again, the Porter Spartans are not giving inches to these Umble Wildcats. That's Tyler Baker on the tackle. Tyler Baker making plays all over the field. Far right to the sidelines, far left, up the middle. Tyler Baker, the free safety, senior free safety, 26 tackles on the season, 2 fumble recoveries. Tyler Baker's the playmaker for Porter. Umble's got 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Hartfield back in the game. Snap to McIntosh. McIntosh's going to hand the ball off to Brown. Brown tries to cut around the center, tries to get to the sidelines. Nothing going. It's going to be Carney on the take. So that's going to bring up 3rd down for Umble. It's going to be 3rd and 4 from the 7-yard line, 8-yard line, maybe even 9-yard line. It's not hard to be 3 yards off. All right, there's Umble Wildcats, 3 men to the right, 1 to the left. And Hartfield back in the game. Got Anderson in the backfield. It's going to be handoff to Anderson. Anderson's going nowhere as a defensive line for Porter, Cameron Providence, Zach Tubbs, and Tim Clay all in on the tackle. They're going to credit Hunter Bridges for the tackle on that, but there was a gang full of Porter Spartans in on that tackle. Looks like Umble's going to attempt the field goal, and Porter, again, for the 3rd time, is able to hold off a touchdown by the Umble Wildcats. 7 minutes. That's going to end the quarter here. So Umble will take over. 4th down on the 10-yard line as we're going to go ahead and go to commercial break. This is TexanLive.com. My name is Chance Bond, and thank you very much for listening.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Sierra Cruise discounted $12,400. That's right, folks. That's over 31%. And we have hundreds to choose from. Or a new Acadia for $299 a month.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Buick GMC, located Highway 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com. We treat you better.
Texan Live is your new home for Houston High School sports. Head to TexanLive.com after the game and check out our archives of all the today's games, yesterday's games, last week's games, volleyball, football. We've got it all here at TexanLive.com. Again, my name is Chance Bond. I thank you very much for listening. We're into the 2nd quarter of this Umble Wildcat Porter Spartans District 21 5A game. Azanzia ready for the kick. Hartfield is the holder. That's up. The kick is no good. Again, the brilliant play of the Porter Spartans holding the Umble Wildcats as they have threatened all 3 times that they've possessed the ball, only being able to capitalize on 1. But the Porter Spartans are playing outstanding shutdown defense with the play led by Tyler Baker of the Porter Spartans. The defensive line for Porter is holding tough. This, again, the Porter Spartan defense is a blitzing defense. Umble's been able to stifle that. Porter takes the ball now. Quarterback Jake Hall. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. It's going to be a pitch to Kruger. Kruger's going to try to get to the outside. Cuts back in. Picks up 3 yards on that. Wildcats middle linebacker Langston Tungsten, number 44, and on the tackle of Kruger. Preston Kruger has 245 yards on the season, 3 touchdowns. He also catches the ball out of the backfield. He's got 4 receptions, 32 yards on the season. Carney far right, Moore to the left. Kruger in the slot position. Moore's in motion. Handoff going to be to Moore. Moore's trying to get to the right side. There is no, excuse me, I said Tyler Moore on that. That was actually on that play, Carlos Norman. Carlos Norman on the carry there. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 for Porter. Had 2 backs in the backfield. Hall in the shotgun position. He's going to handle that punt. Be out there. Norman was able to catch the ball. Was that a reception? Carlos Norman received. That's going to be a reception caught by Carlos Norman on that. He slid to the ground. Looks like they're going to give him the catch on that. It's going to bring up 1st down again for Porter. It's going to be from the 34-yard line. So as Porter breaks the huddle, the first play from the shotgun position, they're going to stick with that shotgun. 3 wide receivers tight to the right. That's going to be down on the bottom. Jake has no other options here but to fall on that ball. Jake Hall. So that's going to put them back on a 23-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 22 for the Porter Spartans. Had a little bit of, was just saying that it was only the 2nd play that Porter has run from the shotgun position. Maybe there's something in that they know that we don't, but they go ahead and call timeout on this.
We have timeout. New Caney, Porter. First timeout of the first half.
So as the timeout is for the Porter Spartans, TexanLive.com. We'll take a break with them. My name is Chance Bond. Thank you very much for listening.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night, we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
Welcome back. TexanLive.com. Presentation, Umble Wildcats versus the Porter Spartans. Norman in motion. Jake back to in and out of the hands of junior wide receiver Shane Carney. Carney is Porter's leading wide receiver. 3rd and 22 on this. 9 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter, or the first half, however you want to look at it. Porter breaks their huddle. Junior quarterback Jake Hall under center. Carson Copeland. That's going to be a flip to Kruger. Kruger looks like he's another reverse, and on that they fumble the football as they try the reverse. And Jake Hall, quarterback, ends up recovering their fumble, but after a good start to their series, and the start of the 2nd quarter, Porter just can't get anything going offensively and are now in a position to punt 4th and 34 on the play. So, again, it looks like Umble will take the ball in Porter territory again. Brown and Hartfield back. This one's going to be to Brown. Brown's going to field it around the 45-yard lines, just out of bounds. And Umble Wildcats will take over at the 45-yard line of the Porter Spartans. The Porter Spartans have been playing the entire game in their own territory, but they've been able to hold this Wildcat offense to 7 points off of a 44-yard run by Terrio Brown early in the first quarter. Porter has had the ball the entire game in their territory. Wildcats have yet to score but 7 points. But give the credit to the Porter Spartans on this one. McIntosh handed off to Brown. Brown trying to get outside. There is nowhere to go on that, as that seal on that. Number 32 for the Porter Spartans on the tackle. McIntosh back in the pistol formation. Hands the ball off again. Tries to get off just off a left tackle. Porter's claiming that they have the football. Let's see what we have here. Porter put himself in a position, and they're going to call it. That's right. Porter Spartans have coughed and got themselves another fumble recovery. Looks like on that fumble recovery was number 14, Jonathan Doolin. Jonathan Doolin is a sophomore, and he is all over the field. Tied for the sack lead with Porter for 4, and this is a blitzing team. They've got several multi-numbered sack. It's going to be handoff to Kruger, and he's going to fumble the ball, but it looks like Porter's going to recover it themselves back at the line of scrimmage. That's Kruger's second cough up. That's going to be recovered by number 42. 42, I'm sorry. Chance Hodgkinson. Gotta love the name Chance. Second down and 8. For Porter, they're in a tight formation with Baker as their lone wide receiver on that. Kruger again trying to finds a little bit of space in the middle as he dodges and weaves, gets about 5 yards on that. So it's going to be 3rd and 3 on that. Roderick Davis on the tackle for the Wildcats. Their senior linebacker. As Jake Hall breaks the huddle. Porter in a tight formation again with 3rd and 3. 3-man in the backfield. That's going to be more up the middle. And he's going to, looks like that he may have gotten the first down. The referees are marking it off. That's going to put the Spartans into their territory as Cameron Providence, the sophomore, brings a heavy load and gets the first down for Porter. Porter now into Wildcat territory. 1st and 10, the 44-yard line, excuse me. Porter again breaks the huddle. Kearney split wide to the left. Two running backs in the backfield. That's going to be a pitch by Hall to Brandon Morton. He fumbles the ball, and Umble's going to pick this ball up. That's the 4th time this game that Porter has put the ball on the carpet. Lost 2, kept 2, but this one is one that they're going to lose. Umble is going to have the ball, a takeover, albeit now for the first time that they've had the ball in their own territory. But Porter, with a chance to get the game back to even before halftime, fumbles the ball by Bradley Moore. That's going to be McIntosh. McIntosh looking for a wide receiver. Looks like he's going to try to get to number 6, and that's going to be broken up. There's going to be a flag on the play. That was Bryson Jackson. That's going to be on Umble. Bryson Jackson on the penalty.
On the play, pass interference on the defense. Number 3, be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Excuse me, I'll have to bring that back. I said that it was an offensive pass interference, but it was not. It was defensive on Jose Palma. The Porter Spartans, their talented junior cornerback. Heard his name called already once today. Hartfeld, Jackson, and Anderson as the wide receivers. McIntosh hands the ball off to Brown. Terrio Brown just off a right tackle. Keeps going around, gets it outside, gets a stretches down the sideline. That's going to be an 18-yard run by Terrio Brown. He's going to get the first down again. And Umble looks like they're going to make Porter pay for the last fumble they had. That's going to be a first down and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Umble Wildcats. Excuse me, from the 20. We hand off again to Brown. Brown try to cut up the middle. Hesitation in his steps. And that's going to be met by a ton of Spartans on that, including number 14, Jonathan Dolan. So that's going to be up 2nd and 11 now for Porter on the 38-yard line. Excuse me, for Umble on the 38-yard line. I'm sorry, 23-yard line. I apologize.
After the play was over with, unsportsmanlike foul on the offense, number 54. Be a 15-yard penalty, and next down will be third down.
That's going to be Umble's offensive guard, Austin Petrie, on that. And just because I like to call it out, 5'10", 285-pound junior Austin Petrie. Let's put Anderson in motion on that. Both Jackson and Hartfeld. Anderson back into the slot position. McIntosh trying to get his... They're going to call... Haven't set the ball yet, so... 2 men right, 1 man to the left. McIntosh sends Jackson in motion. Anderson in motion, I apologize. He's going to hand the ball off. And McIntosh is going to keep it and try to get around the right tackle, right tackle sign. He's going to get 5 yards on that. It's going to bring on third down. Apologize, fourth down. The Wildcats are going to go for it here on fourth down. 5 minutes and counting left to go in the first half. McIntosh looking for wide open. And it is caught. That's going to be a touchdown by Hartfeld. Jeremiah Hartfeld has a touchdown, and it looked like he was turning backwards. Didn't look like that he caught the ball, but Jeremiah Hartfeld was in the position and rolled his way into the end zone for a touchdown for the Umble Wildcats. Jeremiah Hartfeld, the OU, TCU, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech all have contacted this young man.
After the play, unsportsmanlike, number 5 on the offense. Touchdown is good.
So after he has a brilliant play, Hartfeld is going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct.
The foul will be assessed on the kickoff. Be a 15-yard penalty.
And Hartfeld is the holder on this. As Umble tries to take a 14-0 lead with 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to go in the first half. And that kick is up, and it is good. With 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to go in the first half, the Umble Wildcats 14, the Porter Spartans 0 from TexanLive.com. My name is Chance Bond, and we'll break for commercial here.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique, featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
With 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to go in the first half, Umble scores on a pass to Jeremiah Hartfeld from Marion McIntosh to put the Umble Wildcats ahead 14-0. And again, Porter's put the ball on the ground 4 times. 2 of them they lost. They escaped with tremendous defense on one, but could not escape the second one. So Porter paying the price for their turnovers now, and Umble taking advantage of it. It's going to be a kick received by Moore. Bradley Moore, about the 30-yard line. Bradley Moore is going to cut up the middle, going to get it back to about the 44-yard line. So Porter will take over on downs with 4 minutes, 44 seconds left to go in the second half. The Porter Spartans will have the ball in their own territory, yet to be able to put any pressure at all on this Umble Wildcat defense, their lack of the control of the football right now is costly to Porter, who has talent, very young talent, but is difficult to overcome turnovers as they hand the ball off. There's another ball on the ground for Porter, and Umble has recovered this one. Umble now has their 3rd fumble recovery in the game with the 5 fumbles by Porter. This is the 3rd fumble recovery by the Umble Wildcats. And this game could get away from Porter no matter how brilliantly their defense has played to this point. Umble is going to get the ball on the 32-yard line. 1st and 10, 4 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in this half, and Porter puts the ball on the ground for the 5th time today, the 3rd time. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. McIntosh hands the ball off to Brown. Actually, McIntosh is going to keep that up the middle. He's got nobody. There's no block. Gets a great block by his wide receiver, and he's going to score. McIntosh right from the get-go, quick like that, score after the turnover by Porter. The Wildcats now take a 20-0 lead. Actually, let's take that back.
We got holding on the offensive team, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, still 1st down.
That's going to be holding on the Umble Wildcats by a brilliant run option on McIntosh as he looked like he's going to get the ball to Brown, pulls the ball back out of his belly, cuts and weaves down the middle of the field for a touchdown that was called back by a holding penalty. One small mistake by Umble, but it is still 14-0. Umble leading. It's Anderson in motion, and the handoff is going to be to Brown. But again, on that's going to be number 14, Jonathan Doolin on. That's their leading tackler right there as a sophomore for the Porter Spartans. Almost 10 more tackles than anybody else on the team at the inside linebacker position. As a sophomore, ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Doolin of the Porter Spartans. Like that kid a lot. McIntosh sends Brown in motion. McIntosh in the pistol formation. He's going to take the ball right up the middle, but there's nowhere going for that. And that's going to be Cameron Providence on the takedown. So Umble 3rd and 16, 3 minutes and counting left to go. McIntosh in the pistol formation. Brown, 2 wide receivers right, 2 to the left. Brown in the backfield with him. And that's going to be timeout.
Timeout. New Caney Porter. Second timeout, first half.
Timeout. I don't think the referee knew that New Caney and Porter are not necessarily the same team, but if you look at it on the books, it says New Caney Porter. Just like Atascocita says Umble Atascocita. But we know, folks, it's just Porter. Just Umble. So the Umble Wildcats, with their 3rd fumble recovery and Porter's 5th fumble of the game, 2 that they were allowed to keep, 3 they were allowed not to. Porter's got to fix their fumbling problems. They were very much in this game, and Umble looks like they're maybe trying to put it away, but Porter's defense is not having it, as their sophomores in Cameron Providence and Jonathan Doolin, along with the play of Tyler Baker, have kept the Porter Spartans in this game with the speed of Umble. McIntosh back, looking for a wide receiver. There's nobody there. He's going to be chased down. Oh, and he's going to be caught by, that's going to be Jose Palma on that. It almost looked like that Cameron Providence was going to chase him down from behind. So that's going to be 4th down, but Umble's going to go for it again. And again, you're in that no man's land in high school football. Too far to kick, too close to punt. Brown's going to try to weave out, and he may have gotten the first down. Terrio Brown, maybe. They may measure for this one. It's going to be close on this. And they're going to call for a measurement. And it is too close to call. It may be inches. But Terrio Brown, looked like he was originally stopped, lunges forward. So if it is a first down, it is Terrio Brown that turned it into that by a second effort on his part. Looks like they were stopped. It's Porter first down. And again, with their 3 turnovers, the Porter Spartans defense holding tight, holding tough, keeping themselves in this game, giving themselves a chance. 14-0. Touchdown was brought back by a holding penalty by Umble that breathed life back into the Spartans. And these Porter Spartans aren't having it. They're trying to stick in this game. And Umble taking advantage of the mistakes. There's a pitch there to Kruger. Kruger cuts it out, cuts it back inside. He's going to get 4 yards on that. The spectacular senior middle linebacker by Umble, 44 Langston Tunson, on the tackle of Kruger. That's going to be timeout by the Umble Wildcats. You are listening to TexanLive.com's coverage of the Umble Wildcats versus the Porter Spartans. My name is Chance Bond, and we're going to go ahead and take a break here. Thanks for listening.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night, we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
That's going to be a Carry by Kruger. And Preston Kruger is going to get maybe 2 yards on that. Brings up 3rd down and 4. Jake Hall has only attempted 2 passes in this whole first half. I don't know what a whole first half is, but a whole half. But Preston Kruger back to the shotgun only for the 3rd time tonight. Snap is a little low, and Kruger's got nowhere to go with this, and he will be sacked. And that's going to be a sack. Looks like by number 33, Isaiah Longino. That's going to bring up 4th down now for the Porter Spartans. 4th and 10. They're going to have very little choice here but to punt.
We have timeout. Humble. That's his 3rd and final timeout of the first half.
The Umble Wildcats take their 3rd timeout of the half. You can't take those with you, so you don't leave them in your pocket. Umble Wildcat 14. Porter Spartan 0. It's 4th and 10 now from the 22-yard line for Porter. I'm not going to pretend to know what Coach Reno Moore is going to do here, but I'm going to suspect that they're probably going to punt here with 1:42 left. Try to get themselves out of harm's way, but this Porter defense has played outstanding despite the 5 fumbles, the 3 that they've lost inside their own territory. The Umble Wildcats have yet to capitalize on those, except for the one big play that we saw by Hartfeld. The second one was brought back by penalty, and that's Brown's back, and he's going to call a fair catch. And that even faked me out because I think it went out of bounds. So that's going to be Umble is going to take over at the 42-yard line with 1:36 left. And I want to emphasize again, folks, this defense by the Porter Spartans has been outstanding. They have gotten the football every time within their own territory and being able to hold off this very, very fast Umble Wildcat team. As McIntosh looks to the side, Brown in the backfield with him in the pistol formation. 2 wide receivers right, 2 to the left. McIntosh gets but it's a blitz by Porter. Porter looks like they're going to pull it off, but McIntosh is out, and they do. That's going to be a sack. That's going to be number 25, Bradley Moore, doing it on both sides of the ball for Porter with the sack of McIntosh. 2nd and 11. 14-0. A minute and counting left to go. McIntosh looking deep. Looks like he's going to look for Brown. Oh, that is going to be Hartfeld. And that is a touchdown by Jeremiah Hartfeld for his 2nd of the game. The OU, TCU, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech football player for the Humble Wildcats that has interest from all the big schools in the nation. And you see why right here, folks, on TexanLive.com. Wow. 2 big touchdowns by Jeremiah Hartfeld. Up and good, as Hartfeld is the holder on this. Big play right there. Strike quick. Minute 3, left to go in the half. Umble strikes quick. A McIntosh pass to Jeremiah Hartfeld takes the lead to 21 points for the Humble Wildcats. And it looked like Porter was going to hold on. McIntosh was trying to pass the play before. Bradley Moore comes up with the sack. The very next play, with a slight rollout, just stepping in the pocket, McIntosh launches a deep ball right into the hands of Jeremiah Hartfeld. Beautiful pass, beautiful catch. And that puts up the Umble Wildcats 21-0 over the Porter Spartans. And you got to feel bad for these Porter Spartans because they have played a heck of a game to this point despite their turnovers. That's going to be fielded by Norman, at the 20-yard line. Norman's going to get down back to the 30 as the Porter Spartans take over with 56 seconds left to go in this half. The score, 21-0. My name is Chance Bond, and you're listening to TexanLive.com. Presentation at Turner Stadium in glorious downtown Umble, Texas, as the Porter Spartans break their huddle, 2 wide receivers to the right, a slot receiver to the left, which is in motion now. That's Norman. Norman's going to take the ball all the way to the other side, try to get around to the edge, picks up 9 yards on that. That's going to bring around 1st and 8 yards on that. So Norman now involved in this. So Norman is going to be to the right. Kruger and Carney to the left. Moore in the backfield by himself. That's going to be Hall. Hall's going to throw deep. Looks like he's going to have the man open, and he's going to catch it. That's going to be caught by Porter. Are they going to give it to him? That was Preston Kruger on that. They cannot decide who's going to get the ball. It is tied up. It is a jump ball. Who are they going to give it to? Is it a reception or is it an interception? They're going to call it a reception. They couldn't make the play on that. That was a jump ball, 50-50 ball. Kruger comes down with it. Preston Kruger. 2 wide receivers right. They're running out of time. There's 7 seconds left. They got to get this ball going. That's the Kruger. There goes the reverse again. That's Conley. Conley looking to pass. Is he going to find anybody? No, he's not. He's going to get out of bounds. They're going to run out of time by the Porter Spartans as they run out of time in the first half. 21-0. The band will be on, but I don't know how much more exciting you can get. My name is Chance Bond. You're listening to TexanLive.com coverage of the Porter Spartans and the Umble Wildcats. Looking forward to an outstanding and great second half. Please come back and listen. Take care.
At Panera, we decided a long time ago to avoid the easy road and switch to antibiotic-free chicken. That decision set a lot of things in motion. So now it's not just chickens raised this way. It's more ingredients you can trust. Which has taught us a lesson. Sometimes, what you think is the harder road turns out to be the only one worth being on. Panera Bread. Live consciously. Eat deliciously.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Sierra Cruise discounted $12,400. That's right, folks. That's over 31%. And we have hundreds to choose from. Or a new Acadia for $299 a month.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Buick GMC, located Highway 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com.
We treat you better.
At Cavender's, we don't just wear the West, we live it.
I live for a good run.
I live for the crowd.
My scar.
7 flat in the short round.
My face.
Working with my partner.
8 seconds, nothing less.
Rooting for the bull.
Cavender's. Don't just wear it, live it.
Colin Kaepernick, quarterback, San Francisco 49ers. I come back to CES to train. Feel like it's one of the best places to train. They definitely make you put in a lot of work. They're going to make sure you're ready for whatever obstacle is going to come up during the game, no matter what you're doing. So I feel like this is the best place for me.
So, playmakers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Playmakers.
Edge. Drum majors, you may begin when ready.
When one door closes, another door opens, but we so often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the ones which open for us. To open the door, walk through, and capture the moment. So what door will you open? once said. We keep moving forward, opening new doors, and doing new things because we are curious, and curiosity leads us down new paths. Opportunity doesn't knock, it presents itself when you break down the door. Trust our positive instincts and not be afraid to take risks or wait for some miracle to come knocking at our door. If you had the chance, what door would you open?
Let's hear it for our Porter High School Spartan Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Brian Betts and Michael Nelson. Color guard is under the direction of Caney Martinez. sponsored by the Stanberry uniforms. The directors of the band suits are gracious for the company's generous donation of the uniforms from the world-class drum corps Santa Clara Vanguard. A very special thanks to the unwavering support of students, parents, teachers, staff, and administrators. Congratulations to all of our outstanding band members. Next week, the band will perform their UIL Region Marching Contest at 11 a.m. at Galena Park Stadium on Wallaceville Drive. Good luck, band!
And now for your halftime entertainment, it's the high-stepping, high-kicking, award-winning Wildcat drill team under the direction of Sandy Dunn and assistant Chelsea Newman. In the spirit of good sportsmanship and committee, tonight the Wildcats will be dancing a jazz routine with their special guest, the Big Bang. Presenting your dancer of the week, Alejandra Flores. The spirit girl of the week, Giselle Harris. Introducing your 2015-2016 Social Officer President, Genesis Franklin. Vice President, Alexis Tamayo. Social Chairman, Trevona Baines. And Spirit Chairman, Kiana King. And now presenting your 2015-2016 Military Dance Officers, Major Patron Baldwin, Major Ariel McCray, Major Elijah Sanford, Major Karen Sanford. Ladies and gentlemen, dance your hearts out.
Fighting Wildcat Band under the direction of Senior Drum Major Stephanie Hernandez, featuring their UIO contest show, Rock Decades.
Wildcat Band. My name is Stephanie Hernandez, and I'll be your drum major and MC for this evening's performance. Along with color guard captain Kimberly Hernandez and the rest of the Wildcat Band, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the musical journey through the decades of rock and roll. UL Classic, only you.
The Humble High School Marching Band is under the direction of Corey Roberts, Marcus Daniels, Natalia Albacete, and Doug Mackey. We got the Wildcats!
HumbeISD.com. My name is Chance Bond, and I'm going to be honored and pleased and privileged to be joined in the second half by my good friend and my broadcast partner, Forrest Cox. Appreciate you coming on, Forrest.
No problem. Thanks for bringing me on tonight, buddy. I appreciate it. Always a pleasure joining you as well.
Well, as we get settled into the second half, what we're going to say on this is that Porter is down 21-0 in a district game that they've turned the ball over 3 times. They've put the ball on the ground 5 times. Umble now will get the ball first in this second half, but Porter has got to quit being their own worst enemy. And the kick, that's going to be an onside kick, and it looks like Porter may have gotten that. Let's get a hold and watch the officials, and that's going to be retained by the Umble Wildcats.
That was a close one, though.
Yeah, it looked like maybe Porter had gotten away with it.
I like the call by Coach Moore, trying to be a little aggressive, maybe change things up, give your offense and defense, your whole team a spark plug.
You know, why not? Because here's the Porter has been able to hold off Umble inside their own territory this entire game, with the exception of the 2 big plays by the Wildcats. The 44-yard run by Terrio Brown, and then the 36-yard pass that we saw to Hartfield. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left, McIntosh, and that's going to be a handoff. That's going to be Anderson on that. Anderson's going to get maybe 6 yards on that. Well,
Jonathan Dillon on the stop for the Spartans.
So that's going to bring down 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats, and they're a hurry up, no huddle. McIntosh in the pistol formation, and he's going on this one. He's going to Jackson. Jackson's got the ball, and he is out at about the 5-yard line. And I say ow because it looked like that ball got loose from him, but he was able to get out of bounds. Big plays for us.
And that's exactly what they did. You saw the strike early here, or late in the second quarter, that got the score right before halftime. You shoot another deep ball downfield. Umble likes to fade the ball up.
There we go again. It's going to be hand off to Brown. Actually, McIntosh is going to keep it, and everybody sees this, but the Porter defense, and McIntosh scores just like that in 3 plays. The Umble Wildcats take a 27-0 lead for us.
Well, just a great job, great option read right there. Nothing was open the right side. McIntosh pulled it and touchdown Umble.
And I kept wondering on that play as they blocked Jose Palma on that if he hadn't caught his breath from the play before. Up, and that is good. Brings the score 28-0. Umble over Porter. Forrest, we'll say this real easy for the Porter Spartans fans and their student body. What are they going to need to do here?
You just need to go out. You need to execute your plays. You can't turn the ball over. You said they had 5 turnovers in the first half. You can't do that, especially against a team like Umble. We know Umble's attack. Me and you've called a couple games for them this year. They're very quick. They strike quick. You know, you saw 3 plays, 45 seconds off the clock. All it took them to score a touchdown. And you know Umble's going to run these deep routes. Somehow you got to figure out to back your corners up a little bit and maybe try to just keep pace with these quick Umble Wildcat receivers.
Well, and that was the early formula for Porter until those turnovers caught up to him. Porter plays great defense. They're generally a blitzing defense, but if they can't get to McIntosh, they leave their wide receivers on an island like we've seen. So as we are 11 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the third quarter, 28-0, Umble getting set to kick off. Bradley Moore back deep, and that's going to be off just to the left side. And that's Sean McFeeters on that. McFeeters is also their kicker for Porter. So he's a special teams guru there, Sean McFeeters is. For the Porter. Porter will take the ball over now at the 25-yard line, 30-yard line, excuse me, 1st and 10. Porter breaks the huddle. 2 wide receivers to the right. That's going to be Carney and Baker. 1 wide receiver left. Single back in the backfield. Shotgun formation for Jake Hall. Porter's had a hard time with this. It's going to be a handoff to Nelson. Gorman, I'm sorry. Well, they haven't been very successful with their shotgun. They've had some problems with this for us in the first half. And I know that you weren't here for the first half. But it looks like they're going to try to get something. They're in a position now that they just can't do anything but try to score.
You have to. You don't have a choice. I mean, you're already here in the second half. You're down 4 scores. Got to do something. Change it up a little bit. 2nd and 4 for the Porter Spartans. And a pitch out. That's to Preston Kruger. Kruger's going to get just to the left. Going to break a tackle. Going to get the first down with a gang of Wildcats in on that, led by number 40, Vincent Rogers. Nice run right there from Cougar. Good job staying on his feet. It looks like already, if you keep those feet moving and try to fight out some extra yards, you give your offensive line a little bit more of a spark there, knowing that you're refusing to go down. That fires your team up more than anything.
I think so as well. But Kruger's put the ball on the ground 3 times in the first half. But he does fight. That's going to put Carney to the far right. That's going to be a pitch to Moore. Moore's going to try up the middle. A big hit taken. That was delivered by number 44, Langston Tunson, and number 45, Cameron Washington, by the Humble Wildcats.
We were talking earlier during halftime. You know as good as I do, Chance, between Longino, Tunston, Washington, all those guys. That front 7 for the Humble Wildcats is pretty stout.
It's as good as anybody in the league. The district, that is. Not quite NFL, but anybody in the district. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9 now for the Porter Spartans. You got trips to the – that's going to – ball is going to bounce off the ground. Hall's going to try to get it out, and that's going to be to Chance Hodgkinson. I still love the name Chance. Good guy, I'm suspecting. Not ever met him. It's going to bring up 1st down, Forrest.
Number 25, Arian Johnson just beat on that last play. He almost knocked that ball out. He's about half a step from knocking that ball out. Couldn't make the play, but either way, 1st down, Porter.
We got a 1st and 10 now from just inside their Wildcat territory. So full set. Baker in motion. Baker's going to take the handoff on that and can't get anywhere. And that's going to be taken down by, you just called him, Arian Johnson on that take.
And you know Johnson's another one of those guys. There are several playmakers and guys that love to fly around on this defense, but Johnson's the one that you do call out quite a bit.
Well, and we've called the names of Roderick Davis tonight, Langston Tunson, and Arian Johnson. We've called Vincent Rogers tonight, Cameron Washington, Lawyer Johnson. There's 6 of the guys right there of the 11 starters that we've already called their names out today for us.
It's always great when you see an offensive or defensive unit like that.
It's 2nd and 10 now. There's a pitch to Moore. Moore going to try to get on the outside. He does and takes another big hit. Not quite for the first down, but there's a huge hit. Blake George. Blake George is one of those players that the universities are calling towards.
Oh, and you know, just like we talked about, the front 7 stout. We talked at halftime as well. The secondary covers really well, but they are a physical, humble team. They like to make hits. They like to force fumbles. That's just who they are.
We got 3rd and 3 for Porter. This is a tight formation here. 3 backs in the backfield. They're going to try to push for this. That's going to go to Moore. He squeezes through. Actually, pardon me on that. That's going to be their sophomore starting nose tackle, number 44, Cameron Providence. Providence is a machine in himself.
I like seeing that. Bring the big boy in to try to get the first down. He just plows through 2 Umble Wildcat defenders and picks up 5 on that one.
And they're going to keep him in the game here. It's at 1st and 10 now from the Umble 34-yard line inside Umble's territory here. Hall under center. He's going to hand the ball off. That's to Moore. Bradley Moore tries to get on the outside. Maybe picks up 2 yards on that, Forrest.
He had a little bit of daylight on the outside, but no avail. It's a very interesting formation Porter was running there. You had no wide receivers out. You had 3 running backs and a tight end. A little try and maybe change things up a little bit, see what happens here in the second half.
Back in the day, we used to call that a full set. You run the wishbone out of that bad boy. But there you go. That's Porter 2nd and 7. 2nd and 8, I apologize. Carney is going to split wide. You're going to put Tyler Baker in the slot. Shotgun formation. Hall rolls out. Nothing going as he tries to set up. Preston Kruger misses his block. And that's Longino on that. Isaiah Longino on the sack. That's his 2nd sack of the night for us.
No, that's typical Longino. He's a very physical, very good defensive end. He likes to get after, and he will make plays. You'll call his name tonight a bunch. And as we have in the past couple weeks.
Now that's his third. That's our 3rd time tonight on Longino. That's his 2nd sack of tonight. And again on that, as you're trying to roll out, because you're trying to stretch that out because of the speed of Umble and their power, try to stretch that out. Nowhere to go. 3rd and 14. And again, here you go. Jake Hall. It's going to be a completion just short of the 1st down. That's to Carney. They're going to call that a completed pass. That's going to bring up 4th down and 4th and 1. Let's see if they get Providence back in the game.
Either way, if you're the Porter Spartans, they actually ruled that incomplete.
Rolled it incomplete.
Wow. I was about to say a great job by Carney keeping his feet in bounds, and I was going to say you had to go for it on 4th down, but I think either way now you have to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you're in, again, we call this no man's land. Too far for a field goal attempt, too short for a punt in high school football. So that's 4th and 14. They're going to spread Baker far to the right, Carney far to the left. That's going to be Hall in the shotgun formation. Looks like he's going to try to get to Baker, and he's overthrown Baker. He's lucky he didn't have that picked off by Brandon Jackson, the cornerback for the Wildcats.
But even if he would have completed that pass to Baker on the slant route, he really didn't have the 1st down yardage. He had the cornerbacks within a yard from him. Either way, completion or not, probably wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, and then Blake George sitting on that route, would have delivered a pretty heavy blow on Tyler Baker. So I'm not sure if I wouldn't have had alligator arms on that myself, because Blake George can hit. 1st and 10 for the Umble Wildcats at the 39-yard line of their own 39. McIntosh, handoff to Brown. Brown's got really nowhere to go, but he keeps driving. Gets himself a little backwards on that.
Nice play by Jonathan Dullen up the middle for the Spartans. Really penetrated that backfield and brought down the runner Brown.
Now, we have talked about Jonathan Dullen as well, Forrest, and Jonathan Dullen is a sophomore who brings wood. One of my favorite players of the Porter Spartans.
Oh, definitely. I'll have to agree with you on that. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
It's going to be timeout, official timeout on that. And as the officials call timeout, I want to remind folks about the Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show. You can tune on to Fox Sports Southwest Friday nights from 11 to midnight. The Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show presented by Texan Drive. Join Howard Chen, Ted Johnson, Courtney Rowland, Courtney Madden, and they will take you around the city for this week's football action. The Houston High School Football Wrap-Up Show presented by Texan Drive. 11 to midnight, Friday nights on Fox Sports Southwest. McIntosh is going to take it up the middle himself. Going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Is about all he's going to get there, Forrest.
Well, remember, you keep talking about how well this Porter defense can play. And, they've been put in a tough spot tonight. They've been on the field a lot more than they like to, especially after turning over the ball 5 times. It seems like they want to get after it. They don't think they're out of this game.
I don't think they do either, and that's Cameron Providence on that as well. Cameron Providence, also a sophomore, a very young Porter Spartan football team. Look at that lineup. Everybody on the line of scrimmage. They're going after blitz, and he's getting hit, but they got burned by the blitz. Live by the sword, die by the sword, and it's going to be a touchdown by the Wildcats of Umble, Texas, and that's going to be number 3. Terrio Brown receives the touchdown. brings the score 34-0.
Now that's the second time you've seen them go to Brown on that little wheel route on the side, and he took that one to the house. There was nobody even in front of him as soon as he broke about 5 yards down the field.
And Porter is notorious for blitzes. They're a blitzing football team. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
You're exactly right. It can get you into trouble.
They almost got it, but not quite. Up and good. That's going to bring the score 35-0. The Umble Wildcats over the Porter Spartans. My name is Chance Bond, alongside my good friend and partner tonight, Forrest Cox. This is Texan Live.com coverage. And we're going to go to commercial break here.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Welcome back to the Texan Live.com's presentation of the Umble Wildcats versus the Porter Spartans. 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Umble's leading this ball game 35-0, but not without an outstanding effort by the Porter Spartans, this young Porter Spartans football team, led by Cameron Providence, sophomore, Jonathan Dolan, sophomore, Tyler Crochet, junior Jose Palma, junior Desmond King, and their leader on defense, their senior, Tyler Baker. Umble ready for the kickoff, back deep. Tyler Baker, Bradley Moore.
Just as you said, Chance, Porter's definitely got a bright future ahead of them with a lot of young talent on this squad.
A junior quarterback, a sophomore at running back in Bradley Moore, a junior in Preston Kruger. Shane Carney is a junior. That's a flag on that. That's going to be against Umble. They'll just add that to the end of the run.
Wasn't even close. You got about 3 to 4 different Umble Wildcats that were offsides. Maybe by about a yard or two. Not a good special teams play from Umble at all.
No, and it looks like, are they going to bring this back for us? Or are they just going to mark it off here?
I think it looks like they're just going to mark it off. Sometimes you get the option to re-kick, but no really need to re-kick in that situation.
No, there's none. I was just wondering if that was the option that Porter was going to go with. But at any rate, they'll have the 1st and 10 just inside of their own territory. Give themselves 70 yards to go as they'll start. Sorry, that won't be. It'll be 54 yards, 56 yards, 57 yards, 58 yards. We'll just keep adding until we get it right.
Long way. Well, I guess not really a long way in football terms.
Well, it's 1st and 10 at any rate. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line, 32-yard line, I apologize. 32-yard line. I'll get it straight sooner or later, Forrest. It's going to be handoff up the middle. It's Preston Kruger on the straight up the gut.
He's brought down by number 60, Jalen Payton. 30-yard pickup for the Spartans. It'll be 2nd and 6.
So as Porter takes over again at the 37-yard line, it's 2nd and 6. Jake Hall under center. They've been most successful with that under center. They're in a tight formation again. That's going to be a pitch to Kruger. Kruger's going to be taken down in the backfield.
Nice play by Longino there, stopping him.
Nathan Kitchens, I apologize. That was his first carry on the game. Nathan Kitchen. Roderick Davis. Longoria in on the tackles. They were penetrating into the backfield before they.
And this Wildcat defense does do a fantastic job. Somehow or another, they can always sniff out that quarterback or sniff out that backfield in general.
So it's 3rd down, 6 yards to go, 3 minutes and counting. Hall in the shotgun formation as he rolls right. And that's in and out of the hands of against Nathan Kitchens. That's twice gone in Kitchens, trying to get something going for this Porter Spartans team.
Well, he had
4th down now. They're going to bring out their punt team.
He had he wanted Alec Britt deep downfield, but a great job in coverage by Blake George, the senior defensive back, down the field.
So back deep for Umble, their dynamic duo, Ontario Brown and Jeremiah Hartfield, both have scored multiple touchdowns today. It's to Brown. Brown's going to field the ball at the 35. He's going to take a step back to the 50, cut towards the middle, gets to the sideline. It's a foot race. Brown's going to score for the Umble Wildcats.
Fantastic job cutting across and getting that touchdown for the Wildcats. Browns, you saw him turn on the Jets on that last wheel route where he took it 80 or 70 yards to the house. Same thing on that one. He had 2 men to beat, and he just turned on the Jets. Touchdown Wildcats. And this one's getting out of hand quickly.
The speed now of Umble is definitely catching up to the Porter Spartans. It's a very, very fast Umble Wildcat team. And how can you stop either one? Brown and Hartfield are both their big play guys, and they're both in the backfield at the same time. Up, and it is blocked by Porter. Porter's going to return that, try to get some positive yardage out of that, and nothing but back to the 12-yard line. But it was blocked by the Porter Spartans as a little light shines down on a defense that I believe is very good.
Oh, they really are. They have some solid talent out there, but it's tough when your offense has put the ball on the ground 5 times. I know you've given up some big plays, but every defense is going to do that, and it's a great job. At least they showed some fight and going to figure out a way to at least block that punt. That's a little bright spot you can take away from tonight, even if you're getting pounded like you are now.
The score now, the Umble Wildcats 41, Porter Spartans 0. As we take a break here at TexanLive.com, I'm Chance Bond alongside Forrest Cox, and we'll return here shortly.
Allspa's is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But Allspa's is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, Allspa's is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. Allspa's is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
Welcome back to TexanLive.com. Umble Wildcats 41, Porter Spartan 0. My name is Chance Bond alongside Forrest Cox. That's going to be taken and received by Tyler Baker. Tyler Baker trying to get somewhere with it. A little power in there. It's about to the 20-yard line on that. It's going to be bringing out 1st and 10 for the Porter Spartans. 20-yard line. They need to get something going here for us.
Oh, they do. I mean, you're down by a bunch, but you at least want to show some fight and establish some pride. Figure out a way to put 7 points and don't cough the football up.
Well, Jake Hall is having a hard time keeping clean in the pocket right now. So as they try to roll him out and move him to get him more time, there's just blanket coverage in the secondary. 1st and 10, Baker underneath center. Going to pitch it. Nope, he's going to hold on to it, looking deep. That's going to be incomplete. Alec Britt on that, but it was broken up.
I'm going to give a gold star to Brandon Jackson, the senior defensive back on that one. Fantastic play getting in there and knocking that ball out.
And when you've got secondary like Brandon Jackson, Carl Jordan, Arian Johnson, and Blake George.
That's a deadly combination. I mean, this Umble Wildcat defense is stout all the way around.
Yes, sir. Porter's going to split one wide receiver right, one left. Hall pumping, looking and overthrowing his receiver on that Carney. But there's going to be a flag on the play here.
This one usually thrown in the area of holding.
Well, let's see what they're going to call on this.
Ooh, it's going to be something against the Wildcats.
Yep.
They're going to call, that's an interesting call. They're going to call that intentional grounding, as quarterback was in the pocket, but the ball was so far away from the receiver despite that he was going for his target downfield. That's a tough one if you're the Porter Spartans.
No, actually, it could have been intentional grounding because it was a positive towards the Spartans. At any rate, it's going to be first down and 10.
You're exact. I don't know what that call was. You're right.
That's going to be Kruger. Kruger's going to get 3 yards on that. Well, if it wasn't intentional grounding on the Spartans, that's a negative play.
I don't know what the referee called on that.
Roughing the passer? That would have been.
That could be a possibility.
But I couldn't see from up here what exactly the motion was on that. So I saw it as an intentional grounding as well. I was going along with your call.
That kind of confused me and threw me off. But just like you said, nonetheless, now 2nd down and 6 for Porter.
So as Porter breaks the huddle, they're going to send Carney to the far left. Keep their formation tight otherwise. Hall pitches it to Kruger. Kruger's got nowhere to go and a big hit. That's number 60. And I would. One of the nice things about what we have is number 60, Jalen Payton on that, the 6'1", 270-pound junior, is that Umble just continues to hit hard and hit heavy. Porter now 3rd and 7. Hall in the shotgun. Looking for right there on that. That's going to be Carney, but wow. Brandon Jackson on the breakup for us.
Great play by Jackson. He may have gotten his hand in there slightly just a little early, but nonetheless, great coverage. You've seen him do that well here in the 3rd quarter. And here comes your dangerous duo back there in return game.
Yeah, which way do you go with this? There's not a win.
It's lose-lose either way. You know, they both make fantastic special teams plays. You saw Brown run one back on the last punt.
All right, as Tim Clay back to punt for Porter. Up. It's a high punt. And that's going to be out of bounds with no chance.
Ball bounce out of bounds.
That's going to be no chance for a return. And that's how you're going to have to do that, Forrest.
That's the smartest thing you could have done, is just kick that ball as close to the sidelines and hope nobody even comes close to catching it.
So with the score 41-0, my name is Chance Bond alongside Forrest Cox. We're going to go ahead and take a break and bring you back to TexanLive.com.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night, we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside.
And that's going to be number 28 on that. That's Roderick Davis. And there's a flag on the play. It looks like a horse collar that I'm going to say, Forrest, on that.
Well, after a great run right there by Davis, another mistake. Seems like it's been the theme of the night for the Spartans. Looks like you probably are going to get a horse collar and add 15 yards to the end of the run.
Big play again by Porter. On the play.
personal foul, or scholar on the defense, number 33. Be half the distance to the goal, first down.
That's got a little style there, that referee's
I like how he said that.
First down. Barry White working for him. All right, that's Corey Cowan on that.
I got a foul. Got to have one on-time down.
I like that. I like that. Referee's got.
It's like he said, he's got a little style on him.
A little style, a little smooth there. I got a first down. All right. Well, as we get ourselves back into game call mode here, Forrest, we catch up on some scores maybe?
No problem. A couple games from last night. Manville over Dawson, 49-31. Pearland over Alvin. Pearland stays undefeated, 34-10.
Well, let's get back to those in just a second as Umble is back into action, or maybe not. That's going to end up the quarter. We'll go ahead and finish up with those scores.
North Shore over Channelview, 23-14, and a fantastic game over there. Katy Taylor falls to Strake Jesuit, 36-26, and a little bit of an upset. It's the Woodlands over College Park, 28-0. In a game I called last night, a very interesting Summer Creek team defeats Conroe, 25-7. Excuse me. Klein Oak over to Caney, 35-20. And last night, an important game, Spring over Klein, 35-7. A couple of important games from today's action. Klein Collins taking down number 6 state-ranked Westfield Mustangs, 24-19. And the Atascocita Eagles over the Oak Ridge War Eagles, 51-39.
Now, I want to touch on some of those earlier games because those were big games in Region 3. Excuse me, Region 2. Region 3 is everybody else. Region 2 is the only 2 districts, 15 and 16. It's going to be McIntosh. McIntosh up, and that's looped, and that is going to be caught. That is a touchdown by Jason Anderson, the only Wildcat other than Brown and Hartfeld to score today.
Well, you'd think scoring 7 touchdowns, they would have thrown the ball to a couple different players tonight, but a great job. And we talked about it earlier. The Wildcats love to throw the ball up, run that fade route, and they never steer away from that. You've seen them catch the defense, I guess, sleeping a little bit on those routes.
Well, why not? With the talent they have at wide receiver and the quarterback, the touch that McIntosh has on the football, that is going to be good on the field goal by Azanza. 47-0 with 11:53 left to go in the fourth quarter. My name is Chance Bond, along with my broadcast partner, Forrest Cox. TexanLive.com will return.
All Spas is so much more than Ace Hardware. Sure, we have nuts and bolts, lawn and garden, faucets and fixtures, lights and locks, even outdoor cooking. But All Spas is also a boutique featuring the finest names in jewelry and home accessories. But most importantly, All Spas is a friendly, helpful family of people who take pride in their products and services. All Spas is Ace Hardware, and so much more.
All right, as we return to Turner Stadium in lovely downtown Umble, Texas, on the campus of Humble ISD, the Umble Wildcats leading the Spartans of Troy. You know what? That would be wrong. It would not be the Spartans of Troy. That's the Trojans of Troy. It's the Spartans of Sparta.
There you go.
I saw 300.
There you go. I wasn't going to correct you on that.
47-0. The Wildcats lead the Spartans. It's going to be a short kick. Out of bounds. That's going to be a penalty on that.
Usually just bumps it up 5 yards from the end of the kick, so it looks like it'll be spotted 1st and 10. Ball be at the 31-yard line.
They'll get it just on the 35-yard line.
On the play, kick out of bounds by the kicking team, Be a 5-yard penalty from an out-of-bounds spot. First down.
I'll take a 31. 31 yard. I was trying to give him an extra 4 yards. Trying to help him out, Forrest. Trying to help him out.
Hey, whatever works. Porter may need a little bit after that. They got a lot of mistakes to correct, even here in the second half. They've played better, but not – well, let me rephrase that. They play better not putting the ball on the ground and turning it over.
I'm going to say with that, they're just big plays by the Wildcats.
Which they really are known for.
Right. Split. And it's going to be Hall under center, pitch it to Kruger. Kruger is going to get off just left tackle, put his head down, and pile into 3 and 4 Wildcats on that. I'm going to 24. One of the Wildcats on that. Wildcats bringing in some of their younger players now, rotating them in.
Which is probably the smartest thing you could do. You're up by plenty. You know, you've got this one in the bag. See what your second team can do. See if you got anybody out there that can put a blue star on it.
Kearney splits. It's going to be Kearney and Baker. It's going to be a pitch to Moore. Moore trying to get to the outside. He does. He breaks it in back inside. Again, another host of Wildcats on that. And I said that was Moore, but it was not. That was Gordon on that. So as it's 11 minutes and counting, it's going to make first down for Porter. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Porter, 3 backs in the backfield. Hall under center is going to hand the ball off to Providence. Providence is going to pound the ball 8-yard line, but that is a bruising running back right there, Forrest.
Well, I like seeing their not to quit. You're right. The Porter Spartans here in the second half have done a good job of at least fighting and keeping those feet moving. Both their running backs are doing a good job.
Well, they got themselves into 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 3. 10 minutes and counting on the clock. 4th quarter. Porter breaks the huddle. Again, a tight formation, 3 backs. Tight ends tight. They hand the ball off. That's going to be Providence again. Providence is going to get the first down plus. And that additional 4 yards beyond the first down marker. That's going to be first down to Cameron Providence.
Well, Providence not a little guy. Well, maybe a little guy in stature, but a big, built and toned guy. Definitely fought for an extra 3-4 yards out of that one. Had the first down, but able to gain a couple yards after the end of the play.
Brings up 1st and 10 again. Porter passes into Wildcat territory at the 45-yard line. Again, that's going to be handoff to that's going to be Gordon on that. Part of the day. That's Bradley Moore on that. Bradley Moore is going to get, that's going to be another first down. Looks like Porter now has taken advantage of the younger Wildcats on this. And as we talk about this, let's talk about the District 21-5A and how it's setting up and rolling forward now. C.E. King comes away with a win, barely, with 3 minutes left to go in the game over Barbers Hill. But that puts C.E. King 4-0 in the district, 5-1 overall. How's the C.E. King gonna match up for the rest of the season?
Well, they've got a couple. Next 2 weeks aren't incredibly tough games. It's that last week of the season that everybody's focusing on when they have to take on the Cougars of Crosby High School. Crosby ranked top 5 in the state. That's not going to be an easy battle. I got to watch Crosby play here last week when they took on Kingwood Park. They're a very physical team. They can throw the ball. They've got 3 6'4" receivers that will go up and catch the ball. It's not going to be an easy task for C.E. King.
As Porter breaks their huddle, they're going to split Baker right, Kearney left, Kruger in the backfield. As Kruger gets the pitch, Kruger's going to cut back towards the center of the field. He's going to steal power and get another 9-yard gain for the Porter Spartans, taking advantage of this younger Umble team that has been put in. It's going to be 2nd down and 2 for the Spartans.
It's nice to see them at least putting together some sort of drive, even if the second team for the Wildcats are in there. It's just nice to see that at least they're trying to score again.
Well, this is a team that doesn't give up easily. One wide receiver right, 3 backs in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff, and that's going to be to Kruger again. Kruger's going to get the first down on this. And the clock's still ticking at 8:30 and counting. Porter huddles up. I'm a little concerned about the sense of urgency that Porter has in this, and not that it's a 47-0 game.
But either way, you want to try to put up as many points as you can to establish that pride. And they're just kind of taking their time, ho-hum. If we score one, great. If not, oh well.
It's all under center. It's going to be a pitch to Kruger again. Kruger trying to get around the left side. That's going to be in. He's still piling down. Kruger's carrying Wildcats. And I said to the left, but it was to the right. I know the difference.
You got to give credit to Tyler Baker on that play with the cut block. A great job clearing that running lane for the Spartans.
So that's going to be 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line for the Porter Spartans at the 9. 7 minutes, 40 and counting. They have all 3 timeouts the Porter Spartans do. I don't know what a Sporter Parton is, but
made me laugh on that one, buddy. Thank you.
And that's going to be a pitch. Going to go back to Baker. Actually, that's going to be Hall that's going to keep that. It's going to be 4 yards there for the quarterback, Jake Hall, and the keeper. I don't know if that was a miscommunication or accidentally on purpose. It's going to be 2nd and 5. I'm sorry, 2nd goal. I'm sorry, from the 5. Is it late? Is it?
It might be a little late. It's Saturday night.
3 backs in the backfield. That's going to go to Providence. Providence bashes his way up the middle. And does he get in for the touchdown? No, they're going to give it to him at the 1-yard line for Cameron Providence, the battling battle ram for the Porter Spartans. Porter breaks the huddle again. They're going with that 3-back set. I'm going to guess this is going to Providence. And gosh darn it, I am correct. And is he going to get in? It's a fumbled ball. And that's going to be the story of this game for the Spartans of Porter, is putting the ball on the field, on the turf, on the grass, on the lawn. However many accolades and whatever I can say with that, that's been their problem for us.
Well, just when you think you're sniffing the end zone, just when you think you're gonna break the shutout, you put the ball on the ground. Your 6th turnover of the night. Porter's got you can't make the mistakes you have. This has been the story all year long with the Spartans. They've had problems with this left and right. It just can't happen. And if this keeps going the way that they are, they've still got some tough district matchups left as well. They may get pummeled again.
And I will say that Porter starts 6 seniors on both offense and defense. They're a young team. Cameron Providence himself is a sophomore. Bradley Moore is a sophomore. Preston Kruger is a junior. Jake Hall, their quarterback, is a junior. McIntosh trying to get out of the shadow of his own end zone, and does with cuts. He's going to 20, 30. It's a foot race now. Can he get it? Can Baker catch him? And Baker does. Tyler Baker was able to catch McIntosh. What it looks like from the shadow of their own end zone. Wow.
Fantastic. What a run right there for the Umble offense. That's been the story all night, though, as we talked about earlier. Big plays, big plays, big plays. Exactly what that one was right there. From the corner of your own end zone, I mean, you're 1 yard away from a safety. Just to get 5 yards is a big deal. Nonetheless, 60 yards.
Looks like almost going to call timeout on this one.
Timeout. Humble.
So, with the score 47-0, let's go back to some scores and highlights and some conversation. Let's go back to that District 21 5A, and we just got finished up talking about CE, King, and Crosby. Let's talk about New Caney and Dayton now, Forrest.
Well,
what do you got with New Caney and Dayton?
New Caney's also one of those teams that you got to keep an eye on. They're projected to be so good this year to start off the season. Started off with a couple tough losses. They've been a little banged up the last couple weeks, but they're still the front runner to finish maybe in that 2 or 3 spot, definitely a playoff contender. Dayton's the same way. They've got a very high-powered, explosive offense. Got to see him play the Umble Wildcats earlier in the year, and every time they scored quick. Every time they scored, it was a touchdown under 2-minute drive. They'll attack you. They'll get after you. They've got a very stout front on both sides of the football.
And I'm going to agree on that. As we bring back, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Umble Wildcats. And McIntosh now is just squeaking to his spot. And it's going to be in motion. That's going to be to Johnson. Johnson around the outside. Going to be to the right tackle. He's cutting back inside. And he's going to be brought down by number 22 of the Porter Spartans.
It actually looked like Terrio Brown now in there, quarterback for the Wildcats. Saw him take that snap. I see McIntosh now down there on the sidelines. Maybe just give McIntosh a little rest now.
There Johnson back in motion. And Johnson's going to go to the other side, opposite end, same play. There's going to be a flag on the play there. Looked like a 10-yard pickup up until we find out what's going on with the flag. But you're right, Forrest. Looks like Terrio Brown. Now, you got to remember, Gibson, their freshman, their backup quarterback, transferred to Atascocita 3 weeks ago. He sat out his 2 weeks. He is now on their JV team. So Umble really doesn't have a backup quarterback because Gibson had been their backup quarterback to this point.
And Gibson played very well on the varsity level. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with for Atascocita. Unfortunate situation for the Wildcats. But it's tough. You know, you were projecting Gibson to be that guy that rotated in and out with McIntosh. Now, all of a sudden, Gibson's not there anymore. So who else? You got to find out real quick who else can play that quarterback position.
Terry Brown's getting the shot now as he's back in the shotgun formation. As again, Johnson is in motion. Terry Brown is handing it off. And that's lightning quick, lightning fast, striking. It's going to be Davis on that. And generally, this is a Timothy Brown kind of spot for the Humble Wildcats, but they're putting in Davis. Davis is one of their star linebackers and able to play some running back here. As Brown in the shotgun formation, as Johnson crosses middle, that's going to be a handoff to Davis, and Davis is going to get brought down very quickly.
He's brought down by number 70, Umberto Garcia.
It's Umberto Garcia on the tackle. Very quick moving Humble team. It's 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. And we still can't talk about the Kingwood Park Panthers and the Humble Wildcats in this district because Humble's moving too fast for us.
Well, you touch on Kingwood Park real quick. They've had some tough losses, but they're always going to be a good football team. We saw them play the first week against Magnolia. They've just got to figure out what's going on over there, and you never know where they can end up in the playoff race.
It's going to be Brown again. Looks Brown's going to try to get a pass off. That's going to be an incomplete attempt to number 81, Sean Bradshaw. Sean Bradshaw was generally one of their stars. We haven't seen anything from him tonight at all, Forrest.
The Porter Spartans have done a good job of actually covering, despite the fact of the deep wheel route that the Wildcats ran earlier in the quarter. It seems like all Humble's big plays have been run.
And that is true. They haven't had to use their full arsenal of weapons that Umble has. So you have see as we go into shotgun formation for Brown. Brown's going to hand the ball off to Davis again. Davis is going to cut in between tackle and guard on the left side and get just like 6 yards. But that's going to bring up 4th down. 4th and 6, and they're going to bring the field goal unit on. As we touch this District 5A, you have the top 4-tier teams. CE King, Crosby, New Caney, and Dayton. All with Crosby and CE King having no losses in district, and then New Caney and Dayton having 1 loss. Then you go everybody else. With Kingwood Park having one win, third 1-3 in district. Umble, we're getting ready to see them here. Maybe they go to 2 and 3. So they bring themselves up as the kick is up, and it is no good. That attempt is no good. Then you got the second tier of those teams with Barbers Hill being 1 and 4, Porter getting ready to go to 0 and 4, and Galena Park at 0 and 4 within their district. So there is really, unless something really drastically happens, there's a lock for those 4 teams into the playoffs.
And there really is. You're no doubt about that. The game that's going to come down to is can somebody either upset Crosby or C. King this year to maybe make a push to get to that second or first spot. I think Crosby really's got the first place spot locked up, but there's no telling what could shake down 2, 3, 4.
We got 1st and 10 for the Porter Spartans on the 20-yard line. As the pitch goes to Kruger, Kruger going to cut back into the center from a pitch. Gain of 3 yards. Preston Kruger. Love that name, Kruger. Anybody's an 80s horror film fan gets that.
Change the ball game, number 77, Dominique Martin, along with number 71, Jonas Castillo.
It was brought to my attention that I have been remiss on a play, and let's see if we can get one in here. And then the tight formation, it's going to be to Kruger. Kruger up the middle. He's going to break some tackles. He's going to get another 7-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 2. 3rd and 2, I'm sorry. So right now, Umble has in the game number 77. And folks, am I reading this right? Because I want to make sure. First, go ahead and read that for me. Number 77.
Dominique Martin, 6'3", 380, the senior defensive lineman.
Wow. That is a big dude. That's going to be straight to Providence. Providence is going to get enough for the first down on that. And guess where he goes? Right over. Right on the top of Dominique, the Dominator.
He was able to at least fight the block off and make that play, even if it was a yard past the first down chains. Either way, a great stop right there from the big boy Martin.
So now it brings 1st and 10 from Porter's 31-yard line. A minute 48 and counting. 47-0 lead by the Wildcats. All under center is going to hand off to Providence again. Providence is trying to get some space, but that's going to be not a whole lot going on there, as he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Porter. Now we go back to District 21. Again, we say C. King, we say Crosby, New Caney, and Dayton.
Yeah, you hit the hammer on the nail right there. I really don't think anybody else is gonna shake up something to make a playoff push, especially when you only have 1 and win.
It's a pitch to Kruger as he tries to get outside, cuts back inside, powers a load. The junior running back for the Porter Spartans.
But if anybody figures out some way to make a push, I think it could be the Kingwood Park Panthers. They've got a good running back in Aaron Hurd. They've got a good quarterback in Zach Purcell. And if Michael Reyna can regain his strength and come back to full health, that's your go-to guy. They may be a team to watch here over the next 4 weeks.
You know, I've covered a couple games by Kingwood Park, and they have the speed, power, and they're as quick scoring offense as anybody else. As Kruger tries to get up the middle there, there's really nothing going. It's going to bring up 4th down. It's going to be 4th and 4.
It's like that may, down under 10 seconds now, that may run this ball game out.
Yeah, they're not even going to run another play. No, they're done. All right, as the Porter Spartans walk off the field and we line it up for the handshakes, Porter gives up 47 points to the Wildcats of Umble with a 47-0 win. We'll cut to commercial break, and we'll come back down with a few of the scores tonight as we broadcast live from TexanLive.com along with chance bunt. It's Forrest Cox.
If you want a real authentic Texas barbecue, you need to come to Tin Roof. We've been doing barbecue for 12 years, and we're just a little mom and pop barbecue joint. Everything is cooked fresh here. We have brisket, sausage, chicken that's cooked fresh every day, ribs cooked fresh every day. We have the world's best turkey, and then we do like 15 side dishes, and the side dishes are all from scratch. On Friday and Saturday night we have live music. We'll have a band playing outside. So if you get a chance, come by and see me.
All right, as we bring this back for a final kind of wraparound of this weekend's games, this weekend's action, of what we have coming from TexanLive.com.
The first games I want to touch on, I want to touch on the Klein Collins 24, Westfield 19, and Spring 35, Klein 7 over there out of 16-6A. You know, you really don't know, especially after the things that happened last week in the big fight between Spring and Westfield. They both get a loss in the division standings. Klein Collins now moves 2 games ahead in the standings as Westfield now has 2 losses. That's going to really shake things up out of that district and shake things up for the other side of the district, the team they faced in the first round of the playoffs, 15-6A, which is the Woodlands Conroe ISD schools and the Umble ISD schools, as instead of, typically you see Westfield winning the district championships over there. It doesn't look like that'll happen this year unless Klein Collins falters. It looks like the order this year is going to be Klein Collins, Westfield, possibly Klein Oak, Caney, Spring. It's going to be one of those 5 teams. It'll be really interesting to see how things final out and finish out in that district.
Well, and that's the other part is that when you have that district's going to end up being kind of that 4, 5, 6 spot, 3, 4, 5, 6 spot. There's going to be a lot of teams mixing in with that because you usually automatically give that district to Westfield almost every year. This year it's going to go to, well, let's just say we can't predict what's going to come out for the rest of the game, but that district looks like, as things are going, I qualify that. Justin Pratt and those Klein Collins Tigers look like the team to beat out of that. And then you'll have at the bottom of that 4th, 3rd, and 4th spots, there's going to be 4 teams fighting for 2 spots in that for us.
And there really is, between the Caney Wildcats, the Spring Lions, and the Klein Oak Panthers, and then maybe even Montgomery could have a shot out in that district this year. They're always a solid football team. You really just never know. But then you flip to the other side. You flip to 15-6A, which includes Umble, Kingwood, Summer Creek, the Woodlands, College Park, and Oak Ridge. Of course, Atascocita with a big win today. Kingwood with a bye week this week, so they don't pick up or lose anything in the standings. Woodlands defeating College Park last night. It really looks like it's going to all come down. The Woodlands has got the district locked up unless by some chance Kingwood really overtakes Atascocita and the Woodlands back-to-back in weeks. It's going to come down to that 2nd, 3rd spot between between Kingwood and Atascocita to see who goes in 2-3 seed, and to see who will either face the Westfield Mustangs or could face the Klein Oak Panthers. Both very good and very physical football teams.
No, exactly right, and that's where you come down the stretch of these games. You're going to look at teams like Kingwood, who started off slow, but then we think about, Kingwood, they may not be that good this year. But then we look back at who they played their first 2 weeks in Katy and Klein Collins, who, once these rankings come out this next week, probably in the city 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about that. I'll 100% agree with you. And Atascocita, everybody thought district champs. They'll beat the Woodlands, no problem. They'll roll to 10-0. They really didn't see anybody the first 4 weeks of the season. You played Clear Falls, Klein Forest, Klein, who's really in a down year this year, and the Nimitz Cougars. And then the first week you see College Park, who, either way, kind of struggled offensively. And then all of a sudden you take the Woodlands and you find yourself down 21-0 at halftime. that was the first real test for you. And then you give up a bunch of points to the Oak Ridge War Eagles today. The question mark is, can the Eagles stop the Kingwood explosive running game? You know, of course, you got Shawo, you got Griffin Lay, and you got Damian Young. And then Trudell Williams, the quarterback, projected to be back for that game. It'll be interesting to see here 2 weeks from now. And, of course, that game will be on TexanLive.com to see how stuff shakes down for that one.
No, and I agree with that. But, you know, that Oak Ridge team is a very good football team. They got 2 outstanding wide receivers, and their quarterback there at Oak Ridge is an outstanding young quarterback who is just a junior himself. So Oak Ridge has got some ways to go, and the Woodlands starting a sophomore quarterback. So there's some youth that's going to be coming up. So these teams are going to have to continue to their strength is going to be in their end of the season and how well that they go on. Well, as we wrap it up with our 2 districts that we know best in this fine evening in Umble, Texas, my name is Chance Bond alongside
Forrest Cox.
We're going to end this night at TexanLive.com. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening. You all take care.